There is no project that is more emotionally charged than doing a family's vacation home. These places come with long-held traditions and big expectations that can be hard to manage, especially when the family is your own. So here I am, out in the country, dealing with the trades, weather, the commute, my brother-in-law's timelines, and my sister's champagne taste.
Can you get me a cocktail?
My name is Danielle Bryk, and this is the story of our lakeside build.
Look at all this traffic.
What did you expect? We're going up to the cottage. Relax.
If you tell me to relax one more time.
So, is this it for you? Is this the last time you're going to see the cottage before you leave?
Yeah, this is the last time, yeah. I leave for Budapest on the 4th of September. And so when I come back at Christmas, you guys will have done it all. It'll be great.
My background is in renovation. I am a licensed contractor. I run a design build firm, but you know, it's kind of different when it's family. I am this family's resident renovator. And of course, I'm gonna help my sister out. It's just that I wasn't expecting to be kind of tasked with it all on my own at the last minute. Okay, you guys are family, so I can be frank with you. This is the exact wrong way to approach a renovation. They always say you do not go into one with big plans or a milestone that you want to celebrate in the house.
The invitations have gone out already.
No, because inevitably you get disappointed and you freak out when things take longer.
I have a really good feeling that I'm not going to be disappointed.
You don't know Norman.
This whole thing started about 22 years ago.
All right, here we go. Whoa!
Norman, my brother-in-law, who was not my brother-in-law at the time, bought this little piece of land on this gorgeous stretch of lake. It had this tiny little cabin on it.
Noah.
I'm not sure if he realized that my sister was gonna come with like a sprawling family. It was this very rustic, very quaint, let's just say it was tight, but the view was spectacular. Rather than try to fix what was there, it was finally time to knock it all over and start again. Norman started this project about 11 months ago, so the old cabin was demolished in the dead of winter. And they've since excavated, poured the foundation, it's framed up, and the roof is on. And then he gets called off to Europe and says to me, you gotta help, Terry. You gotta make this happen. You know, taking off my designer cap and I'm putting on that hard hat and I'm somehow driving this bus. Do you feel okay about leaving in a couple weeks?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I can always call Jim, see what's going on.
My name's Jim Downer. I own Sunray Contracting, and I do a lot of building and a lot of excavation work on this road. I live on this road, actually. I do a lot of rock work, a lot of shoreline repairs and enhancement, restorations. I do whatever I can do making a buck. Norman's been here for like 25 years, so. And the place they had before was really bad. You know, it was built on old wood timbers, and this will be quite a big change for them. Something substantial.
We want the new place to feel like the old lake house. We've got this incredible, huge lake. It's such a magical spot. Really, we're keeping the existing footprint pretty much. We're only adding 600 square feet. The idea for the main floor is that we create a family-friendly living space with an open kitchen, and Terry and Norman's master bedroom and bathroom will also be on this floor. Upstairs, we've added 2 bedrooms for the growing family. It seems straightforward, but building projects never are.
I still haven't put the electricity in. Okay.
Water looks nice.
I don't see the windows, Terry.
Well, I told you, Norm, that... Why do you say I don't see any windows, Terry?
Look at the view.
I know, gorgeous.
Oh, look, the paving stones.
Oh, the deck looks good too. Guys, it looks so good. Look at the doorway. It's gorgeous.
This way, Terry, you step into the hot tub like this. Boom, you're in. You're sitting down.
Norman is a TV producer, and he is extremely good at his job. He runs those productions like a well-oiled machine.
You couldn't extend the staircase.
How can he secure?
That's the big question.
You haven't even let me finish.
This is what he wants to do with this project. This is not going to happen with this project. Renos never work like that.
See, this is why I disagreed, because he says the railing is actually going to be from here all the way down.
Yes, we're not talking.
And then two box things. I don't know. That doesn't. I can't visualize it.
Well, that's why you're not the designer.
I am coming in mid-project, and nothing has been ordered.
Norm?
Yeah.
Oh God, we haven't even got through the rough end.
I know, eh?
We've got trades waiting.
He's gone rogue.
I don't even know what you guys are saying now.
Terry thinks that I'm a big nerd because I get excited about, like, ooh, the structure and how things are built and all of those things. And so I'm trying to explain them to her because, you know, it's important to know. And she has no interest, no attention span for that kind of thing. And she has a little bit of a commitment issue. So decisions are tough.
I don't know where that picture was of the thing, but
So this wall's right on top of a support, so I can't get a return air there. It may come down to this wall here. So all the air from out here, the heat, is gonna come down here. It tends to blanket the whole room,
Yeah.
and that's what you gotta try to do, blanket the whole room.
It's going to be so different than their last place because the last place only had a wood stove. There was no furnace. It was like, you know, so this is a whole other level of comfort. Terry and I have been talking design about this dream lake house for years. You know, we've been back and forth to create a beautiful layout, how to maximize the view, what the theme should be, how it should feel. There was something about getting up here, getting away from the city that just grounded everybody. And so even though we're rebuilding this space, we always wanted to keep it, you know, simple in a way. So yes, it's a little bit bigger, but we're not having all of the amenities we have in the city.
We are not doing a massive lake house. We're not gonna have air conditioning. We're not doing a dishwasher. We won't even have a clothes dryer.
We definitely want it to still have that element of being somehow in touch with nature. We're trying to find that balance.
Achieving that balance is easier said than done. Time is running out to close this house in. We'll be under 3 feet of snow in a couple of months. So Terry and Norman have to make decisions now on big ticket items like windows, siding, and heating. But the biggest challenge is managing my sister.
Pleased to meet you. I'm nothing like my sister.
so how much is this gonna cost us?
My flat rate is $110 per square foot plus a la carte features.
I think the hardest thing is going to be reining my sister in. She has really, really expensive taste.
Would you be willing to do just the counter in the concrete and then we do...
No, boo-hoo! I don't! No, I don't want to.
So...
I really boo-hoo!
It's just, she doesn't always understand what it entails to get there.
We're gonna have to discuss numbers with Norm.
But I say...
You're gonna have to discuss numbers
I'm
with
not
Norm.
discussing numbers with... He's your husband.
Everybody tells you not to work with family or friends. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
All right.
And nice meeting you.
They're not doing the fireplace, are they?
No.
No. Okay.
Since we are rebuilding, to me it's the perfect opportunity to make a building that is situated to take advantage of natural heating and cooling and to create what is called a passive house. I'm on my way to meet Jonathan Kearns, who is an architect who happens to be at the forefront of passive house building. And he's built a passive house that is luckily not too far from where I am. Not a lot of people have heard of passive house, and all it is a method of building that creates
an incredibly energy efficient home. And it almost requires no external source of heat or cooling, even in like an extreme climate. So it's just something that makes so much sense to me.
Wow. Oh my goodness. This is incredible.
The labor of love.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Yeah.
this is a renovation passive house.
Okay.
So this was an old 1890s post and beam farmhouse.
Well, I see that incredible arch through the
I love
through
the fact
siding.
that you can still see the old house inside the new one.
Yes, yeah.
Because really what we did here was put a big overcoat over the old house.
Okay, so the first thing that strikes me is like the depth of these walls, and is that
Right.
insulation
That's
primarily?
insulation. So we stripped out the inside of the house so you could see all the wood.
Right.
And then wrapped the house with an air vapor barrier, and then put the massive insulation on it. And then we put the triple glazed windows and doors and clad it with wood siding. So it was kind of still all the original kind of materials.
Yes,
but
yeah.
now it's a passive house using only 10% of the energy it would have used in the past
10%. That's
of
incredible.
the thermal energy.
My understanding is that the sort of key elements are massive insulation, an airtight seal,
Right.
situating the building as much as possible to maximize your southern exposure. What are the other big ones?
Zero thermal bridging.
Thermal
So,
bridging.
yeah, you don't want any of the structure going through your insulated sealed envelope.
That's fascinating to me too, that how much of our building science before had materials running straight through and just
Yeah.
like whisking all that heat away.
Exactly. Like a great
Yeah.
example is apartment buildings with concrete balconies
Right.
that are just the floor slab projecting out.
Right.
They're just radiating,
All of
thermal
that.
energy out
Right.
of the building. Then the other thing is triple glazed windows and
Of
doors.
course.
Even the spacers between each
Yes.
pane of glass should be like as efficient as possible.
Right.
And if you want to open a window, you can. You're not hermetically sealed,
Right.
locked in, you know.
Can I see the rest? I'm
Absolutely,
dying
yeah.
to see it.
Watch your step, it's a little steep.
I have these at my house.
What we're looking at here is the underside of the original roof, which turned out to be so gorgeous. When we added the new insulation to the walls became so much thicker. We were then able to span new trusses over this existing roof and then fill the in-between space with insulation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what did you use then for insulation?
We use cellulose in this case
And
because
that-
it's got a lower carbon footprint.
Right, so it's recycled as well,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Recycled paper.
It's probably about R75.
An R value of 75 means that once Jonathan's house reaches a comfortable temperature, it's going to resist heat loss for a very long time.
So we've just left the back wall of the original house.
Okay.
From 1890s.
Wow.
And this room was an addition built maybe 50 or 60 years ago.
Oh, I love the vaulted ceiling. It's incredible. And so
And
this
for-
is your source of heat.
And this is the primary source of heat facing
Yeah.
south. In a passive house, you really have to think of the windows as part of your heating
Right.
system.
Right.
Like you want the heat in the winter, but you don't want too much heat in the summer. So ideally, I should put a shading device on this window.
Like some type of physical screen
Yeah,
or...
outside. And so here you can see the return air register.
Oh, okay.
So that's taking, used air from the
so
kitchen
that's-
back to the ERV. So this is the unit
Wow.
up here.
That looks very high tech.
The energy recovery ventilating system.
Right.
What it's doing is giving you continuous fresh air, but not losing the thermal energy out of the house. So it warms the incoming air with the outgoing air through a heat exchanger. That is running now on about 120 watts. It's like a light bulb.
Like a light bulb.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
The good thing is Terry and Norman also care very much about their footprint, so they care about the environment. I'm not gonna have to fight so hard to convince them to try these things out. However, I'm definitely gonna have to wrangle the budget because a lot of these things do sometimes come at a premium.
Kind of got
I'm determined to source triple pane
thermal break windows for this lake house because I know how much wind comes off that lake as well. I can't
My pleasure.
thank you enough. It's lovely. It's beautiful to see this, and just it's been so valuable.
One thing that Danielle and Terry have done is they've got really, really good windows. They spent a lot of money on them. They're triple glazed.
Yep.
I think one of the best windows they're gonna find, you know, in that high-end type of window. Even the frame around the windows won't conduct any cold because there's a thermal break in all the windows. We're gonna make sure that they're all sealed well. So yeah, they've gone all out in there. And there's not a lot of windows. The more glass you have, the more heat loss you have.
This lake house belongs to Terry and Norman and their family, but it's also been the lake house for Greg and I and our kids, and also for my parents and for our brother and sister and all of their kids.
Look.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot bigger.
What is...
That's a huge door, like a huge opening, so we
Where
can...
is everything going?
Just look up here, though. Now that it's higher, it kind of feels like you're on a boat, actually. When you're inside, all you see is the water. It's really cool. Ooh.
Insane.
Oh, hi, guys. Hi.
Is the TV still gonna go there?
Yeah. It's like one big open room, huge, long, family-style table.
This is a lot to take in.
I know. Kitchen is all across here.
What's over there? Is that the bathroom still?
There's a mechanical room, bathroom, bedroom. Oh, you guys have your own room upstairs.
What do you mean? Built us a room?
Terry built you a room.
That's sly.
I know.
Yeah. Billy, do you remember how big it was last time? It had this, the upstairs had the square footage of a coffin. It was a small...
Yeah, the
Is that an exaggeration?
No, that's...
No, you
That's
guys
not an
all like
exaggeration.
slept all packed in like sardines in that sleeping loft, remember?
Yeah.
Terrible idea.
So this is actually more sleeping quarters, but it's gonna be a big loft in here, a big sleeping loft.
In here?
Like
That's awesome.
lots of bunks.
Can I climb up this thing?
Isn't it cool?
Another window.
I know. No, you cannot climb up
You guys
there.
love
This,
windows,
I
huh?
definitely...
No, you cannot climb up that. No. They don't want the city slickers doing anything dangerous.
How's it
Billy Bryk,
Looks really nice. See, I would have missed this.
I did. Thank you, Daft Duck Guy. There, it won't fall over.
I hadn't seen these windows yet, actually. These are great. This is great. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
The windows are stunning. I love them.
Yeah.
They're beautiful, beautiful feature. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the big door we put in there, it's really good quality. Like, we put those fixed doors in yesterday and they just fit in there really tight.
Nice. And they're triple pane and like,
Yeah.
so yeah, they're perfect.
They spent a lot of money on the big patio door. It's 16 feet wide, but it's all triple glazed, 8 feet high.
I'm about 7/8 right now.
Very, very nice door, but it's a lot of money. Like, it's, you know, close to 20 grand, I think, just on that door. So yeah, they've gone all out on the windows. They're the best, I think, that they could get up here anywhere.
Part of the whole concept of a passive house is that you do take into account your environment and you respect the visual of your environment. That incredible door is going to enhance and frame the lake view, but it's also acting as a source of heat throughout the winter. Now I need to select a siding that also respects the passive house model and fits perfectly in our surroundings. As soon as Terry told me that Norman had agreed to rebuild the lake house, I knew it has to be black. And I told her, you've got to use charred cedar. I'm in the industry, so I'm always learning about new techniques, and this is something from Japan where they char the cedar wood, it turns black, and as a result, it becomes insect repellent, water repellent, and it's very, very low footprint, gorgeous. I love it because it still has that really natural rustic quality, but you know, it's so durable because a lot of people are so hesitant to use actual wood. So they're going with the vinyls and the other sort of materials. And with this project, we want to stay all natural. So if you were doing like 2,000 square feet, how long would it take you to char that much material?
Usually it would take around like maybe half an hour a piece, I would say.
Wow, so it's time consuming.
It is time consuming, and especially to get the coats even, the charring even.
Right.
You know, you don't want to have spots that are burned more or burned less, or you don't want to have the torch on for too long.
Right.
So for the cost of the wood, with the knotty charred cedar, it's going to be around $10 a square foot.
Okay.
And for the clear cedar, it's going to be around $16 a square foot.
Right. Okay. So I just want to do those calculations because we've got about 2,500 square feet. Yeah. So that's $40,000 for the material for this.
Just the material.
Yeah. It could be out of our price range, but I want to talk to my sister and my brother-in-law because I think it's so worth it.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I cannot believe that they've already done the front. Go on, Shu.
Oh, I love it.
You do?
I love it. I love how it looks with the vertical, right? It really emphasizes. And look, how they trimmed the windows so nicely. Remember, we didn't want casing? I love it!
Oh my God, I'm in shock, really. I don't know what to say.
Isn't it amazing how it blends in so beautifully with the...
Okay, wait, with all your design stuff, I just gotta take it in. Like, I haven't seen it. Where is he? Come here.
Where's the new cottage?
Oh my God. I thought it was gonna be staggered. You know, not all up and down, like staggered up and down.
It is staggered up and down. You just don't see the seams. You're not supposed to see the seams. They're not a feature.
I kind of like that, though. This feels like it's so tall.
It blends so beautifully with the trees, right?
What can I say? It looks like charred cedar, but it's actually painted wood. I couldn't convince Terry and Norman to spend the extra money on the Japanese technique, but this product is actually still a natural material. It works perfectly in this environment, and we're wrapping up our passive house envelope.
It's shocking for me. It is, it's a little shocking.
Because you couldn't visualize it when we were talking about it.
I got a win with the expensive triple glazed windows and a compromise with the siding.
It was designed to be like a monolith, right?
Yeah.
Tall and...
Yeah. You can't win them all, especially not with Terry.
This is such a great job. You guys did a fantastic job on this. I'm like so shocked.
I love it.
Not shocked that you did a good job, but I'm saying I'm shocked at the way it turned out, and it's like that must have been a hell of a thing to get all this.
Don't you love how you can still see the grain?
Yeah.
Like it's just so
I do.
much more organic. I love it.
We've mitered all these corners, so that's on an angle. So when the water hits it, it'll...
Ah, brilliant. Terry's like, where are the seams?
Well, we've tried to stagger them out as good as we can, you know?
No, they look good. Norman's going to be so happy.
Yeah.
We are well on our way. I mean, there's still a lot of work to do and a lot more family to manage.
You're telling me you want the door to be this freaking big? This big a door?
Well, not... Yeah. Maybe half of it. Okay, so maybe there's a little thing there, a thingamajigger, and then the rest is a door. You know, you must admit, I'm a pretty good client, Danielle.